Welcome to Tweaker MVNO Webinar, How to Optimize Customer Onboarding. Mobile network operators in mature markets are currently increasing subscriber base, on average by 2% annually. The growth has slowed down dramatically from the good old years. This doesn't, however, stop MVNO business from blooming. MVNOs are growing subscriber base 8% every year. MVNO market is full of great success stories, and not least because of their bring your own device, or also known as the BYOD business model, which is probably the best profitability driver of all times. Imagine no finance costs, no logistics costs, no warranty handling for devices. Just sell the subscriptions and get new customers onboarded. However, BYOD profitability opportunity doesn't come without challenges for MVNOs. My name is Mikko Nurmimäki. I'm heading marketing at Tweaker. Together with Bjarke Ljungberg, who is head of technology at Tweaker, we'll be explaining you in this webinar how to solve the top 5 device setup challenges that affect MVNOs customer onboarding processes all over the world. So what is onboarding? Onboarding of new customers consists of several business processes and actions, all the way from billing, subscriber register and CRM provisioning, and device setup. So basically, all the actions an MVNO has to perform in order to turn cold SIM cards into paying customers. MVNO business is strongly based on the BYOD model, where new customers get or buy SIM card from a MVNO and insert it into their mobile handset. This is the first moment of truth on any MVNO's customer onboarding journey, which greatly impacts the welcome experience of new customers. All those very moments, MVNOs must be able to quickly and cost efficiently get handsets configured correctly for their network so that the new customers get the best possible welcome experience and start to generate revenue. Every new customer notices a failed device setup immediately, which definitely destroys the welcome experience. And each customer onboarding process that fails at the device setup stage increases customer care costs and, in the worst case, grow customer churn. That's why we think device setup is the most crucial step on MVNO's customer onboarding process. So since 2009, Tweaker has been providing MVNOs cloud-based device setup solutions, which provide automatic over-the-air device setup for data connectivity, more specifically Internet APNs and MMS settings. Currently, over 70 MVNOs all over the world use our device setup solution, which performs over 500,000 device setups per month. Through our long experience and first-hand connections to MVNOs, we have gained a global leadership position in MVNO device setup solutions. So next we will walk you through the top 5 device setup challenges that we see impacting MVNOs customer onboarding process today and in the near future. So our number 1 device setup challenge is the growing smartphone market diversification. Based on Ovum, the number of diverse smartphone vendors is growing rapidly, and low-cost and low-quality devices will be dominating markets. By 2020, over 40% of sold smartphones globally are from the sub $100 price range. Also, based on our Quarence Device Intelligence Review 2015, despite that only 10 or 30 device models dominate the device population of any mobile network, each network still has got thousands of device models in active use, which due to the BYOD business models end up in MVNO networks. So Bjarke Ljungberg, who is a technical lead in Tweaker and has got several years of experience in device intelligence and device activations, how would you estimate this development affects MVNO?
Thank you, Miko. Well, obviously, the lower prices lead to a poorer quality of devices, and this combined with the big diversification that we see in the market makes the device setup process a lot more complex. So what MVNOs need to tackle this challenge is access to an accurate database with information about all of these different kinds of devices. And this is obviously to ensure that they are able to configure these devices for data connectivity.
Thank you, Bjarke. So large and accurate device intelligence database would be the solution to cover the smartphone market diversification. Great. Number two of our device setup challenges are the non-OTA capable devices, which are also known as the devices that do not support the over-the-air automatic device setup functionality as specified by the OMA CP standard. The problem with non-OTA devices is that when the owner of the handset inserts MVNO SIM card into his handset, the device does not perform automatic setup to the MVNO's network, and the new customer is, for instance, unable to surf the internet unless he is able to manually configure the handset with the MVNO's network settings. Based on our global data, roughly 27% of new MVNO subscribers today own a non-OTA capable device, so which is a size-wise a significant customer segment. And if this device setup fails for many of the subscribers, it can of course result in several unhappy customers. Bjarke, what an MVNO should do to minimize the problems caused by non-OTA devices?
Well, basically, when a customer starts using a non-OTA capable device, what will happen is that usually they end up calling customer care because they don't have a data connection. And handling all of these different devices is difficult because, as we spoke about earlier, the smartphone market is really diversifying. So what we do at Trigger is that we try to enable the users to actually configure their devices themselves. So we have accurate step-by-step guides for many thousands of devices. And when a new customer is onboarded, we will automatically send a configuration guide to the customer that will enable him to configure his own device without calling into a customer care agent.
Thanks. So basically, help the customers to solve their or configure their non-OTA capable device and deliver the help at the moment when they need it. Great. So the next topic and challenge what we have on our list is high-end smartphones. So the common illusion is that the modern smartphones solve these device setup problems because they have automatic inbuilt device setup functionality that reads operators information from the SIM card and autonomously perform, for instance, APN and MMS setup. That sounds great, but does the inbuilt APN setup in high-end smartphones really help MVNOs at all?
Well, for a select few MVNOs, it actually does. The thing is that what is built into the high-end handsets is the capability of configuring the big MNO APN. So that means obviously AT&T will not have a problem. The high-end manufacturers will ensure that their APNs are inserted. So in cases where the MVNO shares APN configuration parameters with a big MNO on the mother network, then the handsets will be automatically configured. However, what we see is that the vast majority of the MVNOs that we work with, they actually have their own separate APN settings. And these settings will not be included even in high-end handsets. So a lot of the traffic that we see is actually us helping MVNOs configuring even high-end handsets for internet and MMS connectivity.
Thanks. So regardless of smartphone market getting even smarter, the good old traditional over-the-air device setup will be still needed for MVNOs. Great. Number 4, On our list of device setup challenges is Apple iOS handsets, which do not support standard OTA device setup, and hence the MVNO's onboarding process often gets stuck at the iOS device setup stage. Based on Tweaker's global data, some 5% of the subscribers that are joining MVNOs today are Apple iOS users. And that's why this is a problem for MVNOs. If the new customer is not able to set up the iOS for the MVNO's network correctly, he is not able to enjoy the mobile data services. And Tweaker's onboarding solution is actually unique in the market, in the sense that it provides auto configuration for iOS devices as the only solution on the market. Jarke, can you just with few words describe how our iOS auto configuration works?
Sure. Well, basically, once we detect a new device in the network, we will be able to also detect if this is an Apple device, and if it is, we will send an automatic SMS to the device, and this SMS will include a link to a iOS web application that'll configure the device simply with well, basically all the user has to do is press install, and then the device is configured.
Thanks. That was simple. Number 5 challenge on our list is the customer care assisted device setup. So many MVNOs, especially those who are entering market, still today rely on self-care and customer care based device setup to get new customers onboarded. The problem with this is high costs and often poor customer welcome experience. Mobile devices are increasingly difficult to set up, and when looking at the sheer number of different device models, Android versions, and the increasing share of low quality smartphones, it is easy to imagine how difficult device setup can be on the phone for the call center agents. For a new MVNO customer, this cannot provide the best possible welcome experience if the first place where they have to call is the MVNO's call center. So Bjarke, how MVNOs can make their care agents' life a bit easier when they handle the device setup calls?
Well, basically, what the customer care agents will need is good customer care tools. So we at Trigger have made tools that will enable customer care agents to simply do a one-click OTA setup. So that'll trigger an automatic setup of the customer's device. And even for customers that are not even able to press install on the device, so to speak, is we actually all sometimes we do see customers like that, and in these cases we do also provide thorough step-by-step guides for the customer care agents to use for guiding end users through the setup process.
Oh, thanks. So that sounds like the customer care assisted device setup cannot get easier than that. Hey, this was all our 5 device setup challenges, and so we have here on one slide collected all the topics, and we would like to just recap the whole story before we move towards the questions section. So number 1 was what we discussed: growing smartphone diversification. So of course, the only solution for that is that MVNOs have access to a large and accurate device intelligence database. And in Tweaker, we have a Spirent device intelligence database, which covers over 98% of the world's mobile handsets with our in-house verified device identification data and tested and certified settings.
And for our second point, which relates to the non-OTA devices, what we do is that we will have thorough step-by-step device guides that are automatically sent to new customers. We are constantly adding languages, but already today we actually do support this for many thousands of devices in over 30 different languages.
And number 3, high-end smartphones. So of course they are smart enough to run the device setup for mobile network operators networks, but unfortunately not for MVNOs, and that's why MVNOs still need the good old over-the-air device setup, which for instance in Tweaker we have support for OMA CP devices, non-OTA capable devices, iOS devices, and so on.
Yeah, and specifically for iOS handsets, we also have a simple configuration SMS that automatically sent to new Apple users that will provide a link to a web app where the user can do a one-click automatic install of APN configurations.
Thanks. And the last point was customer care assisted device setup, where the challenge is that it's costly and it consumes time and ends up and results often a poor customer welcome experience. And of course, in those cases, the MVNOs will have to be able to provide their customer care agents great tools to handle the device setup calls over the phone. And for instance, in Tweaker, we provide customer care agents a one-click solution through which they can send or trigger the over-the-air device configuration to the caller's device during the call. Thanks. And now it's the room for the questions. Great. So just to wrap up the webinar, in addition to customer onboarding solution, in Tweaker we provide also online smartphone support solution, which is also known as device guides. We have also the world's largest and most accurate device database for device capability data that MVNOs can use through a simple API, for instance, for marketing, business intelligence purposes. And for more information about Tweaker's cloud solutions, please visit tweaker.com/intro, where you can find the basics of our product portfolio and also links to our demo systems. And in the end of March, we'll be launching our new Tweaker website and updated product portfolio. So please stay tuned with Tweaker. Thank you.